on to this Let's Stay Together LST relationship letter. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, this week it says, Dear LSTT, I'm a successful woman. I'm educated, independent, and I have been blessed to live an affluent life. However, I am very lonely. I'm in my late 50s, never been married, and no children. Yes, my career was put first in my life, and I done everything by the book. Go to school, get your education first, get that dream job, or in my case, have a dream career, in which I have. Buy some property, travel, the American dream. My friends always tell me to stop dumbing myself down to date men. If they can't handle your success, maybe you don't need to be with them. I understand what they are trying to say, but the pickings are very slim out here in my race. My friends also tell me to step out of my comfort zone and start dating outside of my race. I'm so loyal to my fellow brothers, even when I know they are not loyal to me. One of my girlfriends introduced me to this very handsome Italian guy. He owns his own small business, no children, never been married. He's 3 years younger than me, but it's something about him that intrigues me to say yes and go out on a date with him. My question to you is, why am I feeling so guilty if I choose to say yes? P.S. Before you say it, I have dated outside of my race when I was in college. Sincerely, contemplating about stepping out on my race again.
All right. I was about to say, Mamma Mia, that's a spicy meatball. She's trying to go out of a race and talk to somebody. I didn't remember Dean Martin. You sing the song like, when your eye hits the sky like a great pizza pie, that's amore. And that's an Italian song. So that's a great thing there. So she's having some issues with dating, and figured it's a small world after all, and she wants to stay on a race, but she's thinking about dating outside of a race. And what is she saying? She wants to know what we think?
She want to know what we think?
About dating outside of a race. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let the Black Lives Matter leader over here, Tracy, start off.
All right, I'll start off. And first of all, thank you, other person who said they know my voice. Anyway.
Another family member. Jesus, I'm telling. Non-family members, please do this.
But anyway, of course, I've had the opportunity to think about that a lot because people bring it up. And I personally choose not to date outside of my race. That's just who I am. But I think that anyone who has that opportunity should go for it. You know, I don't believe that we should love people because they're black, but we should love people for who they are, regardless of what color or race they are. So I say don't put yourself in a little box. You know, get out there, meet people, and enjoy life. And if it happens to be an Italian, a white person, a Chinese person, or a Martian, whatever it is, you know, as long as they treat you well and you love them and they love you, I say go for it.
So did I miss this? Did she say that what nationality she was?
She didn't, but I'm sort of reading between the lines that she is African American.
Well, you know,
she's not Italian. We know that.
Well, we know that, and we know you're reading out the lines. I don't know. You still don't know how to read my line.
You don't know how to write.
That ain't got nothing to do with Ebonics. You should learn Ebonics. You've been with me for 22 years. But as I digress, one thing I want to say is that, one, if you are African American, that there are still some, amazing African American men out there. So don't believe the hype. You just have to, be in the right places. Sometimes church can be a right place, and some people say, "No, there's no good church men." Well, there's no good men everywhere, but church is a good place, to meet them, and very very well-to-do places you can go to where you can meet people. Of very different professions and stuff like that. So don't get discouraged with that, thinking that you have to settle. You should never settle for someone just because you're lonely, because in a lot of cases that becomes frustration and resentment as well, too, that we talked about at MRI. Because when you're settling for something, you're already lowering your expectations of what you want out of love. And you don't want to do that. You want to receive everything you can out of love and make sure you get it from the beginning and you both understand that that's what you're looking for. In regards to dating outside of your race, I don't have an issue with that, where some people may have. Love doesn't have any color. It's colorblind. You're looking for someone who's going to love you. And so if you can find someone who's going to love you and you're able to love them back, I say go for it. But don't just go out of your race or go to another race just because you think that there's not any quality men inside of your race. Take the time, do some due diligence, be in the right places, and you might be able to find that wonderful person. But again, I say, and I'll turn it over to Brenda, is that love is colorblind. So if you find someone that is of another race that loves you and you love them, go for it. That's how relationships survive.
Okay, I understand. It's a lot of things she didn't say. I'm not sure what your race is, but I'm thinking from what I'm reading that you might be a double A African American woman.
A double A, ain't this something?
When a double
A. Double A.
Most African American women who are very well averse in her career, it is hard on that level to find an African American male to date. But she seems well rounded to the point, not saying that, her girlfriend's telling her, stop dumbing yourself down just to get a man. There's someone out there for you. And it is a lot of African-American well-to-do men out there, just where you have to find them. And unfortunately, we know it's kind of hard for some African-American women because the choices are slim for us. But I understand your loyalty as well, because we were taught really to date within our race, and you feel guilty when you do step out. But I hate to say the Betty Shabazz coming out a little bit, because they're not guilty. I mean, they're not loyal to us all the time. So I suggest to you, don't put yourself in a box. Go out and expand and see what else is out there. And you could find a good man of any race. And this is a joke, but Italians and Greeks are known to relate to African-American women very well. So if you have an Italian that's looking at you, just go out on a date. You're not about to marry the man, and stop feeling guilty because you're deciding to step out again. But who are you stepping out on? You're stepping out against yourself by saying, oh, I can't do this because I'm loyal to this male race of mine who's not loyal to you. So do you. You're in your late 50s. It's time to, get out of that box and create a new one. Do something like they said. Color is not in this issue, and you have to do what you have to do. Miss Contemplating about stepping out on my race again. We all over here says, go for it, girl.
And I just want to, I don't know what the joke part of what it is, but if you're dating with someone outside the race, but what do you mean by this is a joke?
Greeks
is it
and
true?
Italian love black women.
Is that true?
Well, yeah.
Then it's not a joke.
Okay.
So I'm looking at here. It says, according to the estimate of the U.S. Census, black men population in the United States was 21.5% in 2013. This is 48% of the total population of men. And I was trying to find out, before we go into the last subject real quick, how many of them are educated, what they say about education, but it's not really breaking it down. It's saying that there are over 24% of men have, African Americans have some college, no degree. 17% have a degree or higher. 48% have attended college. And so there is a population out there. Don't believe the TV. Black men are educated just as much as anyone else.
But unfortunately, they're educated and they go elsewhere.
Well, that's not necessarily true. So you can't speak for every black man. So I'm standing up for black men right here. You're gonna, if love is blind, then they can go the same direction that she can go in. But we ain't gonna fight on the thing because you wrong.
All right, we're gonna leave that in the car.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that in the car.
That could be another show.
Yeah, we'll think about that. But we're gonna go.